for the world's longest roller.
Look alive, 5 alive.
Is Art Attack. Hello there. Now then, what do you reckon is the easiest way of remembering important dates? Buy a calendar? Keep a diary? Nah. Use a big ruler. Look at this. The 13th of the 6th. It's the date I'm going on holiday. Come and have a look at this. Now, you need to lay your hands on a bigger piece of cardboard as you can possibly find. Best way of doing this? Old cardboard box from a supermarket. Tear it open and then cut yourself a strip of cardboard that's 4 times the length of an ordinary ruler and 4 times the width of an ordinary ruler, like that. And then if you've still got the folds from the cardboard box in there, just strengthen them up with a bit of tape, like that, so it's nice and strong. And then cut yourself another strip of cardboard that's the same length as that fat strip, 4 times the length of an ordinary ruler, but this time it's got to be half the size of your first piece, like that. And then lay it down the middle and then either tape it into place or glue it into place. And when you've done that, you'll have something that looks like that. And there it is, that's your basic ruler shape. Now mix some PVA glue with some water. 2 parts glue, 1 part water, and then just slop some onto your big ruler, like that. And then, you've seen me do this many times before, I'm sure, lay on some tissue paper or some loo roll. And you can just slop on your PVA glue and water on top of it like that, just paste it down onto your cardboard. And I love doing this, you know, because it gives you a good surface to paint on afterwards, and it makes your work nice and strong. I'll just do another one there to show you, just laying it on top. And you can cover the whole thing, take a bit of time to do it back and front and along the sides, just dabbing it into those cracks and creases. Leave it to dry when you've completed it, and when it's dry, whoops, you'll have something, it's fighting back here, that looks like that. There it is. You see the PVA glue and tissue paper have gone rock hard, and you have a nice solid surface to paint on. Now to paint it, you can use acrylic paint or poster paint, any colour you like. I'm using brown to give it a nice old-fashioned wooden ruler effect. And I have to admit, the rulers were like that when I went to school. I'm just slopping on the paint here. You can take a bit more time again doing this. Cover the whole ruler, back and front, and when it's painted, leave it to dry, and you'll have something that looks like that. Look at that again, a nice wooden finish. And now to put on your numbers. Now to do this, use a pencil first in case you make a mistake, so you can always rub it out a little later on, and start by marking a point that's roughly 1 centimetre from the edge. Now to put on your big inches, if you think about it, if your big ruler is 4 times the size of an ordinary ruler, then each big inch will be 4 inches wide. So there's 4 inches. So there's 1 big inch, and there's 2 big inches, and there's 3 big inches. And you just continue and put all 12 on. And then for your 1/4 inches, of course, your 1/4 big inches will be 1 inch wide. So there are some 1/4 big inches. And as for the 1/8, well, they're so small, you can just guess them. Just put them in like that. And I'm going to write on here, not inches, but months. 12 inches, 12 months. There it is. And it's a good idea then to take your ruler and see what other markings there are on it. Now don't forget, when you put your centimetres on, you've got to put 31, because some months have 31 days in them. And you could also put on the make of the ruler and all the other markings, and when it's finished, you'll have something that looks like that. And if you see, I've gone over it here in black permanent marker, and I've even put my name on and the make of the ruler. There it is, Art Attack, and it all adds to that authenticity. And then take 2 of these big plastic paper clips that you can get from stationery shops, not very expensive, and slip one on to one side to mark the months, just slip it on, and one on the other side to mark the days. And there it is, your big ruler. And then you can hang it on your bedroom wall or your door and use it as a calendar and change it every day just by slipping the paper clips up and down. Or you could just use it to mark specific important dates, like the 14th of the 2nd. Valentine's Day. Try it yourself, a big ruler.
Hello! Yes, it's me again, the head. Now, if you're going to make the big ruler, make sure your cardboard is 4 times the length and 4 times the width. Then cover it all in toilet roll and PVA glue, and when it's dry, paint it. Oh, and remember to base it on a long ruler. Otherwise, you only have half a month and half a year.
Yep, this is a big heart attack.
Very impressive indeed. Imagine using dustbin bags to make a picture. Excuse me. Excuse me. I think that picture was rubbish.
How do you make your cartoons look rounder and more 3D-like? Round and squidgy lines. Check this out. Look at these shapes here. Now, if I just draw a line along the inside of the left-hand edge of this ball, look at that. Immediately, it makes it look rounder. And it works for any shape. Try this lettering. Again, if I draw a line along the inside of the left-hand edges, suddenly it looks rounder and more squidgy-like. And it doesn't just have to be your left-hand edge. It could be the right-hand edge. Look at that. And then it goes, and it's more 3D-like. And you could try it in your cartoons. Even when you're drawing faces, if you draw a round and squidgy line along the inside of the left-hand edges on your cartoons, it looks rounder and thicker. And even this thin stick, watch this, make that look even thicker. A round and squidgy line along the inside of the left-hand edge. And it doesn't have to be the left-hand edge, it can be the right-hand edge. Look at this teapot. Watch suddenly how it looks a lot fatter with a round and squidgy line. This time I'm doing it along the right-hand edges. And there it is. And it's just a case of looking for the left-hand or the right-hand edge of your cartoon and just drawing a round and squidgy line on the inside. So, OK, let's make this comic strip rounder and more squidgy. There's Billy and his balloons. So I'm just going to make his balloons look fatter. And in fact, let's make Billy look a bit more rounded. Just looking for the left-hand edge there and drawing a round and squidgy line in. And there he is. He looks a lot more 3D-like now. Now, Billy is walking along the road one day and he spots a poster that says Mr. Muscle Competition, big prize. Now, hold on, I'm going to do a round and squidgy lines this time on the right-hand edge. And again, make him look rounder and more 3D. So, OK, I think I'll go in for that competition, says Billy. So he goes home and tests out his muscles. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how many round and squidgy lines we put in here, his muscles aren't very big at all. In fact, a worm has got bigger muscles than him. Look at that. And see what's happened here? Put round and squidgy lines in on the worm and it looks more tube-like. So, there's only one thing to do. Billy goes off, he gets into his car and he goes to the local gymnasium. And look, if I put round and squidgy lines in on things that are normally quite flat, it even starts to make them look rounder and more fatter. Then at the gym, Billy starts to lift some weights. Unfortunately, he doesn't lift them very far because he's not very strong. And again, just putting round and squidgy lines in, I'll put them on his weights there, make them look a bit fatter. So he practices and practices, and then on the day of the competition, he turns up with big, rippling muscles. Look at this. Again, I'm just putting round and squidgy lines down the left-hand side. Now watch this. If I put them down the right-hand edges as well, just inside the right-hand edges, the muscles look even bigger. So I'm just doing round and squidgy lines just inside all of the edges, big rippling muscles. Now, unfortunately, the judges ask him to take his tracksuit off. And yep, you've guessed it, he just stuffed some balloons down his tracksuit. So here we are, round and squidgy lines, making the balloons look nice and fat. But unfortunately, he's still very skinny. But I can even make his legs look slightly fatter with the round and squidgy lines. And the judges were completely gobsmacked. So, Billy didn't win the competition, but he did learn how to draw round and squidgy lines. Try it yourself. Make your cartoons look more rounded and 3D-like.
Oh, that's very useful. Draw a line down the inside edge and it makes it look more rounded. I wonder what would happen if you added more lines. Perhaps it would make it look even more rounded. Or perhaps not.
Hi, my name's Charlotte and I did my picture.